It was a memorable day in the history of the Welsh Church. Many dignitaries of church and state their way to the blitzed Llandaff Cathedral to witness and assist the enthronement of the new Archbishop. 8 bishops walked in the procession. Among them were the Bishop of Newcastle, who afterwards preached the sermon, and representing the Archbishop of Canterbury, the Bishop of Gloucester. The new Archbishop, hitherto Bishop of Llandaff, is Dr. John Morgan. He succeeds Dr. Prosser, who resigned the archbishopric and is now Bishop of St. David's, and upon whom it now fell to install his successor. The altar to which the new Archbishop was conducted by the mandatory, Dr. Prosser, there was a pause during the singing of that very beautiful anthem, "I was glad when they said unto me, we will go into the house of the Lord." Many of the ecclesiastical dignitaries present remembered that this same anthem was sung at the coronation. As Dr. Morgan laid his hand on the Bible held by the mandatory, he took the oath, vowing to observe the constitution and laws and approved customs of the Church in Wales.
Gyfundrefn a dieddau ac arferion cymeradwy, yr Eglwys yng Nghymru, ac hyd eithaf fy medoram gallu, y gynhaliad a'r anfusonol, iawnderau a breintiau a'i tenor lywodraethol, felly yn cynorthwyo Duw fi a chynwys y llyfr hwn.
After the oath was taken, they sang the 121st Psalm. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. At the conclusion of that poem, which Welsh voices have sung on so many memorable occasions, the Archbishop knelt at the altar and was vested in his coat. The Bishop of St. David's now led Dr. Morgan to the Archiepiscopal chair, where he was to be enthroned. The mandatory pronounced a blessing over the Archbishop before declaring him to be duly inducted, enthroned, and installed into the metropolitical throne of Wales. The bishops and their company ranged themselves before the altar, while the whole congregation sang the Te Deum. Dr. Morgan was now installed in his great office. After the sermon by the Bishop of Newcastle, the collection was brought to the sanctuary step, received by the dean and handed to the Archbishop. Dr. Morgan, for the first time in his new office, gave the congregation his blessing. It was the conclusion of a very moving service. For a few moments, the Archbishop remained silent in prayer, and then the congregation saw him receive the pastoral staff. Dr. Morgan was the 97th Bishop of Llandaff. He is the 4th Archbishop of Wales. The archbishopric was instituted in 1920 on the disestablishment of the Welsh Church. No one who was in Llandaff Cathedral Church that day will ever forget what was a deeply religious experience. The archbishopric has lost Dr. Prosser. It now gains by the accession of Dr. John Morgan.